You've got an idea for an app that you want to build and you want to learn how to code to make that a reality. Brilliant. Little bit of bad news. Only 1 out of every 10 people who start a programming course actually finish it. And out of those people who finish it, how many of those actually go on to build their own app? Not many. Why is that? After having mentored and taught programmers for 15 years, I've seen the patterns of what works and what does not work, and I'm going to show you those today. The ultimate secret to learning coding is your mindset. Just a warning here, I'm not talking about some Jedi mind trick, voodoo, woo-woo, the secret, just trust in the universe and then you'll learn how to code. That is complete nonsense. What I am talking about is a set of expectations. Dan Gilbert famously said, happiness is about low expectations. And when you start learning how to code, your expectations are crucial. I'm going to tell you about 5 expectations that have helped me and everybody I've coached on their coding journey. These things will make you more resilient, and these expectations will set you up for success. Expectation number 1, expect everything to go wrong. In modern life, most things I use work. When I switch my coffee machine on in the morning and press a button, it makes coffee. When I switch my light switch on, the light comes on. When I sit in my car in the morning and press the ignition button, the car starts. So we go through life where the normal default behavior is things work. You are about to see behind the curtain of what these other inventors and engineers had to go through to create these reliable products that you know and love. When I started out as a non-technical person learning how to code, I would say maybe 1 in 200 things that I tried worked. Just think about that for a minute. 199 things not working in a row, and then 1 thing works. Now that I'm older and wiser and have 20 years experience of software engineering under my belt, I would say maybe 1 in 20 things work. And just think about that. After 20 years in this field, I now have a 5% success rate. But I see a lot of beginners get into programming, they make a mistake, something doesn't work, and they're fazed by it. So you will make lots and lots of small changes, and hundreds of them in a row will not work. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. That is the game that we're playing here. So expect everything to go wrong all the time. Expectation number 2, expect to have to try a lot of ideas. You have to come up with some ideas of why might this thing be going wrong? Why might this thing not be working? So you will need to generate a lot of ideas. This is unusual for most people. So in summary, expect to need new ideas all the time. Expectation number 3, expect to feel stupid. In programming, mistakes are encouraged because the only way you make progress is by making mistakes. The problem is that our schools have told us that if you make a mistake, you are stupid. Whereas the reality is by making a mistake, you're just learning what doesn't work. However, most people have this feeling of stupidity built into them when they make a mistake. Maybe you don't have that, in which case, congratulations, you're one of the select few. I know I feel stupid when I make a mistake. If 99% of things you try do not work, then by definition, you are going to make lots of mistakes. And if every time you make a mistake you feel stupid, you are going to constantly feel stupid. This is normal. This is not something to be ashamed about. That feeling, that is your friend. That's what it's like to be a programmer. Because if we knew what the machine needed, programming would be very, very easy and everybody would be able to do it in 5 minutes. Expectation number 3, expect to feel stupid all the time. This is normal. Expectation number 4, expect lots of thinking. Many people, including myself, live our lives on autopilot. We get up and we do broadly the same thing every day. And it doesn't require a lot of thought to live our lives. You don't have this luxury. You have to stop and think it through. This is something every professional programmer is challenged by, including myself. I want it to work. I'm not a very patient person, believe it or not. So I emotionally react, and therefore I'm not really thinking what I'm doing anymore. I'm starting to panic. I'm starting to go down rabbit holes. And so I call this programming by guessing. It's a very emotional way of going about it, and generally it doesn't really work. You're going to have to think a lot and think quite carefully about the next step that you're going to take. Otherwise, you're going to burn a lot of time, you're going to waste a lot of hours, and ultimately, you're just going to get really frustrated and not make much progress. So expectation number 4, expect to think things through pretty carefully. Expectation number 5, expect precision. What do I mean by that? If we put our key in a lock at slightly the wrong angle, it doesn't really matter. We can afford to be fairly loosey-goosey. In programming, this is not the case. Every single character you type matters. The other day, my program stopped working, and it turns out I'd hit one key by accident in the editor, saved it, and I didn't realise. And then it didn't work and I was surprised and I couldn't figure it out. Expect a level of precision that you are not used to in everyday life. And don't get frustrated when that precision confounds you. Expectation number 5, expect precision. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your comments below. Have you been challenged by this video? Have you tried things in this video and they haven't worked? Have you tried to code before? How did it go? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you very soon.